One of these men is the head of the Air Force team that rocketed the chimpanzee Ham into space. What is your name, please?
My name is Major John D. Mosley.
My name is Major John D. Mosley.
My name is Major John D. Mosley.
Only one of these men is the real Major Mosley. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Faye Emerson, Abe Burrows, and Polly Bergen on To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collyer.
Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Dristan, decongestant cough medicine. Stops coughing due to colds or bronchial irritation. Dristan, decongestant cough medicine. Abe, it's a real pleasure to have you with us again.
Thank you, Bud. Good to be here.
I understand you're working on a new show.
Yeah, it's a musical. It's a new musical called, it's got a cute title, I think, a long one, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Unless you get a theater with a sizable marquee.
We'll have to really get it. We're going to use the whole title.
Well, good. Best of good luck with it.
Thank you,
It'll
Bud.
be a good one. All right, panel, will you kindly open your envelopes for the first time tonight and take out the affidavit cards and follow along with me as I read this first one to you. I, Major John D. Mosley, am stationed at the Air Force Missile Development Center in Alamogordo, New Mexico, where I conduct rocket sled tests and other experiments in connection with our space flight program. I am also a veterinarian and work with the animals trained for use in these tests. Recently, I headed the Air Force medical team which rocketed one of our chimpanzees 155 miles into space. We recovered him successfully. His name is Ham. Signed, Major John D. Mosley. See, panel, we begin tonight with three stalwart gentlemen, each one claiming to be Major John D. Mosley, Air Force Major and veterinarian. And we begin this first round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Major number one, what is significant about Alamogordo, speaking geographically or topographically?
Right now, my family's there.
Does that raise it that much above sea level? I mean, what kind of place is Alamogordo?
Desert. About 4,000 feet.
Number two, can you add to that in any way?
Well, it's quite dry. In the winter, I believe the temperature is around 65 at the highest. It does snow once in a while.
Number three, maybe you can tell me what I'm trying to get out of you guys.
Well, we have a few cactus out there.
I should say. Number three, what is the significance of that belt around Ham's middle? I saw in Life magazine that he was wearing a belt around his middle. What is that for?
Yes, this was to check the reaction of his chest during the flight.
Thank you.
Faye?
Major Mosley, number one, how many G's was Ham subjected to?
In excess of 16.
How long was your overshoot, further than you planned?
I don't remember the exact figure.
Major number two, do you remember how long you overshot? How far you overshot your actual...
No, I don't know. I know we went about 414 miles. It was more than we planned.
Major number three, what was the real name of Ham before he was given the name of Ham?
He had no other name.
He had a number, I believe. Do you know what that number was?
No, I don't.
Do you, Major Mosley? Number one, I mean? Major Mosley, number two?
65.
65, number one. Who is Colonel Stapp, Major Mosley, number two?
Colonel Stapp is a man that rides on rocket sleds.
How fast did Colonel Stapp, excuse me?
Abe Burrows.
What was the first thing, I'm interested in stuff like this, I just lost weight. What was the first thing the monkey ate? The monkey is a chimpanzee, wasn't he? Number one, what was the first thing he ate when he came out of the plane?
An apple. Out of the plane?
Out of the rocket.
An apple.
You didn't ask, number three, you didn't answer Miss Emerson's question about Major Stapp. Do you know who Major Stapp was?
Yes.
Who was he?
He was the officer, the colonel, who rode on this rocket some 600 miles an hour.
What other title did he have beside Major?
Colonel.
Major Colonel.
Colonel Major. That's big. That's a big thing. Number 2, where did you go to school to study to be a veterinarian?
At Cornell.
Polly?
Number 1, there were a lot of tests given the chimpanzees to test reflexes and how many levers. What was one chimpanzee, I don't remember which one, hit how many levers and how long an amount of time?
You're speaking of during the flight?
No, during one of the tests.
Well, a lot of tests.
Number 2, do you know? One rather
Well,
exceptional
he
thing.
hit him quite a few times. I've never counted them.
Number 3, do you know?
I think you probably read in a magazine where he hit it some 7,000 times in a matter of 15 minutes.
Thank you. Number 2, what are they given to sort of stimulate them to want to do these tests?
Well, they have little pellets that drop down that are...
Number 1, what are the pellets made
Wait,
of?
that's it. We'll have to find out about the pellets later because our time is up. It is time for you now to vote. So, panel, without consultation, will you kindly mark your ballots and vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3? All ballots marked?
Well, I guess I should be smart and just do
All set?
what I'm supposed to.
All right, Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 1, but I ended up sort of having a feeling it was number 3, so you can tell how smart I am right there. But he did say, number 1 did know the answer, I think, to the Ham's number before he got his name Ham.
Faye, your vote, please.
Well, I voted for number 1, Tom, for the same reason, because he knew that, and also he looks like the uniform suits him very well. And I was a little surprised at a couple of the other answers, and I'm dead wrong.
Abe, which one do you think is the real one?
I voted for number 2 because I'm much more comfortable with veterinarians, and I felt comfortable.
And Polly, your ballot. I say, Polly, your vote. Hello there.
I voted for number 3. Really, I was dead certain it was number 3 through the first half, because 1 and 2 both missed several questions which number 3 answered. Then later on, number 1 answered several that number 3 didn't answer. And then number 2 came in with a shocking finish that was brilliant. And I really don't have any idea, except there was an awful lot of to-do about this chimpanzee hitting so many thousands of levers in like so many seconds or something, and a man tried to do the same thing and couldn't even beat him at it. And I would have thought 1 and 2 would have known that, because it was written up quite, even if they're not the real person and read the magazine, they should know it.
All righty. Polly, I understand your vote is for number 3. Would you mind repeating your reason? All right, here we have it now. The votes are all in, and we made up our minds, in a way, in a manner of speaking. Let's find out whether we're right or wrong as we discover which one of these gentlemen is the real major veterinarian in the Air Force. So will the real Major John D. Mosley please stand up? Well, we call that a 50-50, half fooled and half not. Let's find out about the other 2 gentlemen. Number 2, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
My name is Bert Dutcher. I'm vice president of the North American Reassurance Company. We insure insurance companies.
Thank you, sir. And number 3, your real name and what you really do, please.
My name is Louis Bowler. I'm merchandise manager for Last Tex Yarns United States Rubber Company.
We checked the scores through, gentlemen. We find, as I mentioned, there were 50%. In other words, there were 2 incorrect votes, 2 right, 2 wrong. For those 2 wrong at $250 each, a total from Dristan of $500. Gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your visit to our show. We certainly enjoyed having you with us. Good night and good luck to you, and pick up a package of Dristan products on your way out. Bye. Now here's a message about something new to control coughing.
Now, a single spoonful of a remarkable medication brings new relief from coughing due to colds and bronchial irritation. It's Dristan decongestant cough medicine that not only stops coughing, but actually controls 5 important causes of coughing. When you take Dristan decongestant cough medicine, here's what happens. A special demulcent soothes irritated throat membranes. An effective cough stopper subdues nerves that control coughing. Then, a decongestant relieves bronchial congestion, combines with other ingredients to help loosen and clear bronchial passages. An exclusive anti-allergent helps prevent back of throat irritation. Nobody can duplicate this exclusive combination of ingredients to give you this formula for cough relief. Get pleasant tasting Dristan decongestant cough medicine. Contains no codeine, no narcotics. Taken as directed, safe even for 3-year-olds.
Now, panel, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Janie Smith.
My name is Janie Smith.
My name is Janie Smith.
You've had a look. Follow along once again with the affidavit, if you will, please. I, Janie Smith, have just returned to the United States. My trip home from Portugal took 11 days longer than expected. We were scheduled to land in Florida on January 24th. Off Venezuela, however, our ship was hijacked by a group of armed men. We finally were put ashore in Recife, Brazil, on February 3rd. I was a passenger on the Portuguese liner Santa Maria. Signed, Janie Smith. We bring you 3 ladies this time, panel, in this round, all claiming to be Janie Smith, the passenger on the Santa Maria. And we begin this cross-examination with Faye Emerson. Faye?
Thank you, Bud. Janie Smith, number 1, where were you supposed to land in Florida?
We were to land at Everglades.
Janie Smith, number 2, what was the name of the man who hijacked your ship, the leader?
Captain Galvao.
Number 3, Miss Smith?
Miss Smith.
Miss Smith, who was the friend of Captain Galvao, or whatever his name is, in Brazil? The real rebel head.
Quadro?
He was in exile in Brazil.
Quadro?
No. Number 1, do you know who I'm talking
Delgado.
to? Delgado, yes. Thank you.
Abe?
Number 1, were you frightened when it happened?
Not frightened, just nervous.
Number 2, were you frightened?
Not as nervous as I am now.
Number 3, were you frightened?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Who was number 1? Who was killed in the fighting?
There was a young man killed.
Number 2, what was the office of this young man?
He was a ship's mate.
Number 3, what officer was he on the ship? The young man who was killed.
I believe he was on the bridge.
Polly?
Number 1, was anyone else wounded on the ship besides the gentleman who
There were
was
2
killed?
others wounded.
I see. Number 2, were they taken care of during the voyage by someone on board ship?
Yes, there were 2 other doctors on board ship.
I see. And they were cured on board ship?
No, they were not.
They were not. Where were they cured?
They were taken off the ship.
Number 3, where were they taken off the ship? Number 1, where were they taken off? Number 2, where is it suspected that the pirates boarded the ship?
Well, we believe 2 places, La Guara and perhaps Curacao.
Number 3, where is...
Tom?
Thank you. Number 3, how many children were on board?
Oh, I really don't know how many children were on board.
Well, number 3, maybe you could tell me, how do the natives pronounce the town where you finally landed in Brazil?
Recife?
That sounds French, doesn't it? Number 2, is that the way the natives pronounce that town? Did you ever hear any of them speak of it?
No.
Number 1?
Recife.
Number 1?
That's it. Number 1, 2, or 3. That is it for now, panel. Once again, it's time for you to mark your ballot. So will you kindly do so without consultation? And vote as you did before for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Mark ballots quickly, please, if you will. And Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
Number 3. I was sort of rushed, not by you, but in my head. I don't know why I said number 3 now. Is it too late to change?
Faye, your vote, please.
Well, number 1 had every answer exactly right and was so calm and so cool that I voted for number 2.
I see. Well, all righty. Abe?
I'm learning if they do it, yeah.
Which is your guess?
I voted for number 2. I like the way she answered, and she seemed to like me better.
And Polly, your vote, please. She's a loner with no reason. Is that it?
Oh, I had a reason, but I had a reason so long last time that they said I shouldn't say anything this time because then we run over if I do.
All righty. Okay. Once again, the votes are in, and if you're playing along with us, we come now to our own particular moment of truth, and let's discover how right or wrong we were as we learn which one of these 3 young ladies was the real passenger on the Santa Maria. So will the real Janie Smith please stand up? To have you with us. The other 2 now. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
I'm Elaine DeLong, and I'm a ticket agent at Port Authority's bus terminal.
Didn't know you could go to Portugal by bus, did you? Number 2, your real name and what you do, please.
My name is Dagny Blum, and I'm private secretary to Ed Sullivan.
And a terrible life.
We'll check up on the score now and find that there were, let's see now, 1, 2 incorrect votes. We had 3 incorrect votes this time for a total of $250 each of $750 from Dristan. And, of course, a gift package of fine products from the makers of Dristan for each of you. I hope you enjoyed your voyage on this show. It was safer anyway. Good night and good luck to you. God bless you. Now, here's news of a discovery for minor arthritis pain.
New relief for chronic minor pains of arthritis rheumatism. Today, a new European discovery brings hours of relief with a special kind of warmth. It's InfraRub with working warmth. InfraRub's working warmth radiates relief, but never burns like old-fashioned rubs or liniments.
It's a wonder how quickly InfraRub's working warmth brings me hours of blessed relief.
Proven in arthritis clinics, InfraRub's working warmth radiates relief.
And now a word about Bicidol.
Thank heavens I saw my doctor. I thought I had an ulcer. It was only my acid indigestion. Starting right now, I'm going to help protect my stomach lining with a special medication of Bicidol mints.
Bicidol does what no mere alkalizers can. It not only relieves acid indigestion fast, Bicidol actually coats sensitive stomach lining to help protect against further acid attacks. Ask your doctor.
Bicidol really works.
Get Bicidol mints.
Now, panel, let me give you our 3rd team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Orin Lions.
My name is Orin Lions.
My name is Orin Lions.
Follow along once again for the 3rd time tonight with your affidavit copy, if you will. I, Oren Lyons, a greeting card designer, am a full-blooded American Indian. My Indian name, Joe Aguisho, means sunlight making tracks in the snow in the language of my tribe. I am an authority on Indian ritual dancing and have performed throughout the country. As a designer, I work for a large greeting card company and head a group of 13 artists. While we create cards for all occasions, I specialize in both serious and comic valentines. Signed, Oren Lyons. Now we have 3 gentlemen, this time, each claiming to be Oren Lyons, as you heard, full-blooded American Indian and current designer of valentines. We'll begin this round of questioning with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Number 3, what tribe do you belong to?
I'm from 2 tribes, the Hopi and Winnebago tribe.
Number 1, are you from the same 2 tribes?
No, I'm from the Cherokee tribe.
Of course. And number 2, you're from a different tribe too, aren't you?
I'm from the Seneca tribe.
Yes, I thought you were. Number 3, are you any relation to Leonard Lyons?
No, I am not.
You're not. I didn't think he was an Indian.
Cigar story.
Cigar story. Number 2, Do you just design or do the artwork on the cards, or do you also do the verse work?
Both.
You do both?
You can do both.
What rhymes with blue?
New.
Number 3.
New?
New.
New, yeah.
New. Number 3, what kind of Indian ritual dances, in other words, what kind of dances would they be, specifically? Holiday dances, or?
Well, some of them are religious dances. Most of the ritual dances are religious dances.
I see.
Tom?
Thank you. Number 3, there was a famous play about a man who created greeting card sentiments. Do you remember that play?
No, I don't.
Do you even know what my question was? Because I'm not sure I do. Do you know the name of that play, number 2?
No.
There was a fellow who did wrote greeting card verses, and the whole play was like around him. What was that play, number 1? Do you happen to remember?
No, I don't.
Thank you. Number 3, where did the Hopi Indians come from?
Arizona.
And where did the Winnebago Indians come from?
They come from 2 places, actually. They started coming from, well, they were first in Wisconsin, and then they were moved down to Nebraska.
Thank you. Number 2, where did the Senecas come from?
They're from upstate, around near Buffalo.
Number 1?
Faye?
Thank you, Bud. Number 3, what is a kiva?
That is the, well, you might call it the Hopi church. It's an underground, which, well, they have meetings there where they go over religious ceremonies and so forth.
What is the other great tribe of Indians that come from Arizona and around there?
The Navajo Indians.
And another great tribe who specialize in silver work.
Well, the Navajos also, well, there are Zunis in New Mexico who do a great deal of civil work also.
Thank you. Number 2, what were the 7 nations?
There were 6 nations.
What were the 6 nations?
Oneidas, Onondagas, Tuscaroras, Senecas, and Cayucas.
Which, is that 6?
6.
What were the ones that just sold their property to the state?
Just sold it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a Tuscaroras.
Tuscaroras.
Abe?
Thank you.
I should start off by saying how to anyone. Lo, the poor Indian. Let me see now. The fellow from the Winnebago, he knew about that. Tell me, what's the name of your greeting card company? Number 1, Indian number 1.
Norcross.
Number 2, what's the name of your company?
Norcross.
Number 3, what's the name of yours?
Norcross.
I once wrote a greeting Valentine card called I'm so miserable without you, it's almost like having you around. It's a different, whole different story. Very, very sad Valentine. Number 1, what tribe did you say you were from?
Cherokee.
Where did the Cherokee tribe located?
In the Great Smoky Mountains.
Number 2, where are the Cherokees located? You're not a Cherokee, but where are the Cherokees located?
Oklahoma.
What?
Oklahoma.
Well, those Cherokees move around, don't they? Number 3, how does one become a combination Winnebago and Hopi Indian?
That's pretty hard.
Does there much tribal warfare in your home?
Well, the Hopis are a very peaceful tribe.
You didn't say that.
Without any scalps being lost, let's see how we find out who's what in this particular round. But first of all, it's time to mark your ballots, if you will, panel. So kindly do so without consultation, as always. Vote for number 1, Indian number 2, or Indian number 3. All ballots are marked. Well,
No, they're not all marked.
they're not all
Just aren't marked yet, that's
They
all.
aren't marked at all.
Going to be 4 blank ballots.
Oh, blazes.
You had a good week last week, too, Polly.
I had a good week last week. I'm going to have 100% this week, too.
The other
All
way.
wrong.
Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
Well, I voted for number 2. I don't know how, I'm not too versed in Indian lore, but I was afraid for a minute that some of his costume was not truly indigenous to the Senecas, but I could easily be wrong about that because there's a lot I don't know.
Well,
the Cherokees, as a matter of fact, did move, as you may remember, from the Great Smokies and Tennessee into Oklahoma and the far west.
I did not ask you the question.
But
Faye, may we have your vote, please?
I voted for number 3 because he, as far as I know, gave every answer correct, but that doesn't mean anything. He may just lie well.
The wrong one did that last
Abe,
time.
I know.
Your ballot, please.
I voted for number 2 because he just blew me a smoke signal.
Which one?
Oh, for goodness sake. I voted for number 1 because the Cherokees are in the Smoky Mountains, because I was born there.
Are you a Cherokee?
Yes, I am. And number 2 and number 3 knew everything. Everything. So I voted for number 1.
All righty, let's
Because
find
nobody
out.
asked him anything.
Good. Let's ask him something now, whether he is or is not, as we discover which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real, full-blooded American Indian and designer of Valentine. So will the real Orin Lyons please stand up?
Come on, sunlight.
Your man came through on that one. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Arthur Junaluska of the Cherokee Indian tribe. I am now head of the newly created American Indian Theater Foundation.
Thank you, sir. And number 3, your real name and what you do.
My name is Louis Mofsey. I was born in Brooklyn, and I'm an elementary school teacher.
That's how we crossed the 2 tribes. Well, let's see what we have by way of a score here. We had 2 incorrect at $250 each for a grand total of $500 from Dristan and a gift package of the fine products from the makers of Dristan. I hope you enjoyed your visit. We certainly enjoyed having you here with us. Happy wigwams and pleasant future to you. Goodbye. Now something short and sweet from our alternate sponsor, Helene Curtis.
Tender touch, look younger, feel smoother all over with tender touch.
New Dry Skin Bath Oil by Helene Curtis. Add just a touch of Tender Touch to your bath to end dry skin problems. Tender Touch smooths away rough, flaky skin, moisturizes dry skin. Tender Touch seeps deep into thirsty pores, acts like natural skin oils, gives your skin a fresh, dewy look. You look younger, feel smoother all over. Tender Touch bathes birthdays away, protects you with a faint, silky dew, keeps your precious skin oils from evaporating.
Look younger, feel smoother all over with tender touch.
New Dry Skin Bath Oil by Helene Curtis.
I guess that's about all we have time for tonight. I gather you enjoyed the Indian round more than the others.
Next week, the Cowboys are going to get equal time. You know?
The good guys will be here. Abe, it's been a joy having you with us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for treating us to one of your inimitable Valentine copies. That was a goodie. To all of you, I want to remind you that character development and citizenship training, physical fitness, all have been goals of the Boy Scouts of America for all of the 51 years that they have been in existence. So help keep America strong by supporting the Boy Scout program in your neighborhood, won't you? That's about it. Good night to you all.
Good night, Bud.
Bud Collyer saying good night from Dristan and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Foots and Bill Codman production.
This is Robert Young. Jane Wyatt agrees that father knows best. Our problem is proving it to the children. We try tomorrow and every Tuesday on most of these stations.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by InfraRub, the European discovery for hours of relief from chronic minor pain of arthritis, rheumatism, muscular aches. Johnny Olson saying good night from To Tell the Truth. The program was pre-recorded.